What's up everybody, I'm Brian from I Want Tesla, and today I got a cool video. Well, I think it's cool. Tesla announced another patent for glass. Tesla glass. Today's Tuesday, so how about some News Tuesday? Sounds like Blue's Clues. How about, Tuesday News Day. As you know, Tesla comes up with a lot of patents. You know, they try different things, and every company does. They patent something whether they're going to use it or not, just to kind of protect what they've developed and what they're developing. It's a common practice. So everyone knows Tesla's been working on a new type of glass. They have the steel glass, or the non-breakable glass that they put in the Semi and the Cybertruck. And also the roof. They're putting glass on people's roofs now with solar panels built into them, which is really cool technology. And I think that's going to eventually change how we use solar on a house. They're continuing to develop glass, and more so for the cars. They just came out with a patent. Electric is the one who I saw this video on, and I'll have a link down below for the Electric article. The patent and the glass technology is called automotive perforated insulated glass structure. I had to look at that because doesn't roll right off the tongue. A.P.I.G.S. What that is it's almost like a double paned window, or a triple paned window in this case, or actually a quadruple paned window in this case, because you have an outside layer, two perforated layers inside, and then an inside layer of glass all jammed together. And what that's doing is putting they didn't say if they're putting a gas in there, like a window in your house that's filled with I think argon gas or some type of gas, and that stops the thermal break there of cold weather or hot weather on the outside transferring into the inside. So think of this. This is 4 sheets of plexiglass, and this is like a quadruple hung window or quadruple pane window. You have an outside glass, 2 inside pieces here, and one on the inside. What they're doing with this is perforating it. Came up with this design based off of, not my design, their design, with a bunch of holes that kind of interlock each other so air can flow through. Maybe you can see right through all of them. And what will happen with that is air will be able to travel through all those channels all over the piece of glass and not get trapped and make bubbles, and that would be bad. So what you would have with that is an outside layer and an inside layer all glued together, shaped and formed, and you will have an outside layer with the tint, or maybe the tint is on the inside. Of course, these holes will be a lot smaller, and you wouldn't notice them by looking out. Of course, this probably wouldn't be done on the windshield. This would probably be done on the glass roof and the back window, but possibly on the windshield if you don't see them. Depends how small they actually are. Of course, the windshield is not going to be this thick. This is almost like bulletproof glass thickness. You might be asking, why are they doing this? Why are they spending the time on this? Well, it's for efficiency. If you can thermally stop the hot air from coming into the vehicle, then you can keep the cabin temperature at a more constant temperature using the heat or the air conditioning less, which is using less power, makes more range. So that's why they're doing it. And of course, one of these layers will be tinted, probably some type of new ceramic tint, and maybe some aluminum coating like they've done in the past, where that's why some of our windows are different colors. The reason I didn't continue drilling all these holes was because they were starting to crack. The plastic was starting to crack a little bit, and it was gumming up the thing. I was going to do this whole thing. Would have been cool, really thin, but oh well. But again, I'll put this on the screen there. That's what it looks like, a lot like the cheese grater Mac. It's like that design where allowing a lot of air to flow through freely between chambers is just going to be better. Benefit to this is glass normally transfers sound really easily because it's one piece of glass, one thick layer. An easy way to stop sound from, like, say if you have a noisy neighbor or something, you can use insulated drywall. A lot of times they'll put gaps in between, air gaps in between drywall, or they'll just use 2 layers of drywall. That's not as effective. Sometimes there's different materials where you add glue in between, and it allows for chambers of air to be stuck in there, and that stops sound from transferring through because there's multiple layers there. Well, the same thing goes with all those holes in there. That's going to stop a lot of wind noise coming into the cabin from, say, the roof, possibly the windshield if they can use this technology in the windshield, and from the sides. You know, one great thing about electric vehicles is they're quiet. You don't have a gasoline motor, internal combustion motor, making all this noise up front. All you have is the noise from the road and wind. So our cars are very quiet, and there's many things you can do to keep them quiet and make them even more quiet. Like I've done window tint on all my windows, the windshield included. Just adding that thin layer stops a lot of that wind noise coming in from the front of the car and also the sides of the car. Makes a huge difference. Other companies have different gaskets you can put on the doors. Dynomat makes a material you can put in the door panels, and all that does is kind of deadens the noise from anything, rocks and things like that. So I think this is a cool patent. You know, I like when Tesla takes these ideas and patents them, and then we get to see what they're thinking. It's kind of like a look into the future of what Tesla's doing on one little project. They may not use it, just like the wipers. I did a whole video on how I made the wipers out of cardboard and based off of what the patent looked like. But this is something totally different that maybe is being done in other companies. I'm not aware of it, but Tesla patented it, so obviously this is not done. Again, it's just cool to see what they're working on and what could be in your cars in the future. Hopefully the holes are smaller. Hopefully we don't see them, but you know, because you don't want to be looking through that when you're trying to drive. But what an awesome company to not just sit back, maybe just not try to work on batteries, maybe just not try to work on the motors, adding multiple motors, but they're actually working on making these cars better all the time. And you know, it's not going to be a 2021 or 2022. Whenever they get this technology done, they're going to start adding it in the cars. Maybe on the refresh, well, quote, refresh, Model S and Model X. Maybe that new design is going to have this as well, along with the triple motors, the bigger battery, the wider stance. I think it will start with the higher end vehicles and then taper down to the Model 3, the Model Y. So what do you think about this patent? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's just a waste of time? Do you think they're not going to be doing this? I think it has a lot to do with the cars, the roof, SpaceX. I think all of that plays a big factor. I mean, this could be definitely used in space to stop that cold, super cold temperature outside versus the inside temperature. On a thicker scale, of course. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and that thumbs up. I just want to thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Stay awesome and stay positive.
Is looking at you, kid.